gas connected to, and it's all set up inside, already working.
I've got my gas bottle in there.
Yeah, I can put that on for you.
Put it on for
I need to get you a pigtail, because obviously this one's mine. I'll get a brand new one for you.
Yeah.
What gas are you operating on? Is it the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll get you a pigtail. Do you want the hand tight or the spanner tight connection?
I didn't know they did a hand type.
Yeah, well that's the hand tight one. You can have a hand tight one or you can have the spanner tight.
Easier, isn't it?
Oh yes. Trying to launch it with that spanner, then you go and clack your knuckles on the bottle and things like that.
On the handle at the top, it's sometimes awkward.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. Yeah, so it's okay. Yeah,
Brilliant.
I'll get that sorted for you. Okay, right. So A-frame, I should think, is pretty similar. That might be slightly different, as in it's got the a new handle on it. That's all they've changed. You may have had the red handle on it before. So you've got the, obviously breakaway cable and things like that. So are you happy on?
Yeah.
What's showing there? ATC. You may not have had that on your last one. That there is an indicator light. So when we plug into your car, you'll see that light up. You'll hear the ATC operating. It does a test. So if you've heard anything or read anything about ATC, no. What it does, it detects that snaking movement.
Right.
Okay. And what it does is apply the brakes slowly and off.
Oh, right.
So it's there to bring the caravan back into line if you get a bit of a snake on. Obviously, it doesn't stop you from making sure you're loading correctly like you would done in the past. But it's there as an extra safety measure, obviously alongside your stabilisers as well.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Right. So I'll explain a bit about the lights when we connect up, because then we can see what the lights are operating in. Okay. So onboard reg, it should be pretty similar, I would have thought, to your last one.
Yeah. Yeah. It is,
Yeah.
pretty similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the on-off switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously it is an on-off switch, but the best thing obviously is to turn the gas off on the cylinder itself.
Yeah.
When you're travelling. I always use that just when I'm changing cylinders over to keep the pressure in the system. Yeah. Good. So down the side, obviously a slight difference as in the vent. That's your vent for your boiler. If you're aware of what the boiler is, on this one it's a combined boiler, so it does heating and hot water. Your previous one probably did the water.
So I haven't got to take
yeah,
that.
there's no. That's it. Yeah.
Take it off. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. So you don't need to do that now. That's your actual vent. Okay, water in. So I don't know if you had an onboard pump on your last one or not. Yeah. So same with this one. Obviously, this is your pipe.
New whale. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is Truman actually. This one. But just be careful, because normally people tend to put that in the sink like that. It's got a tendency to want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's sucking air out the top of the ack roll instead of pulling air. So just make sure you straight it out. Obviously, before you put it into the ack roll, just clicks in like that. Okay. Right, we've fitted your battery. Got obviously 240 connections there as well. So it should be pretty similar. Motor mover. We're looking at it. Looks like a new motor mover. It hasn't been swapped over, has it? From the look of it.
No, new
so
one.
it's a brand new mover. Have you had a mover before? Yeah. Was it an auto one, or was it a manual one you put on?
I put a spanner on it.
Yeah. So this is an auto one. I'll show you obviously that after.
No, I had to.
Yeah. Major spanner movements. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in here you've also got an external aerial point as well. Okay, so you can connect externally if you want to.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, coming alongside, obviously your wastewater would be exactly the same, I would expect.
Yeah.
And toilet cassettes, is that the same? No, slightly. They are more or less the same, but they're slightly different. As in hand on wheels to make it obviously easier to go and empty. You've still got to lift it up. And then the mechanism itself should be all the same. Yeah. So your air bleeding, obviously you can access there for cleaning. What you've also got depends on. You probably had a little bung here for draining your flush tank.
I can't remember.
No,
it would have been. I didn't use it.
You didn't use it. What this one?
Because you just pump it down into the cassette.
Yeah, well that's it. Yeah, you do that. Still do that because that's getting the water out the pump for a start. But just drain the last little bit through there. So you just pull that off. It just sits on a little ledge here.
Oh, okay.
So just drain the last little bit by doing that.
For the tank for the red part.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Okay. And so just be careful coming around this cable. Obviously the gas hose on the back here. We've also got bike fit rack fittings ready to receive a bike rack if you decide you want to carry bikes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's.
So how do they come off?
They'll screw. It just pops. These ends pop off, and you can just put the thing in.
Oh, I see.
And it screws in. Right. Obviously, you've got access under the bed. Because you've got a bit of space there. Just be very careful. Obviously, it's behind the axle.
Yeah.
So nothing too heavy, like awnings and stuff like that. Excuse me. This is very important that you do check your wheel nuts regularly. I've got my spanner there, one to remind me, two to which I will be tightening before you leave. It does tell you on the plate here, it's 130 Newton meters. It does give you a steel setting as well. It's the alloy one you want. Okay. If you haven't got a torque spanner, just use your ordinary spanner and just tweak it anyway.
65.
Yeah, 65 PSI.
Oh,
that's for your pressure for your tyres.
pressure.
It's just in a little right in here.
Oh, I see, yeah.
130 newton meters on the hour.
I might have to get myself a...
It's
Top-
worth
top
it.
range.
Yeah, it's worth it. You know you've got it exactly
well,
right.
it's useful in the car as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I haven't got one.
No, it's probably worth getting. You can get the correct one then. You know the correct setting. Okay, so obviously you've got electric and gas barbecue, which you may have had on your previous one.
Yeah.
Just push. See that? Just push. Put your thumb in the centre of that where the 230 is. That's it. It'll come off anyway. So it'll open easy. And just give it a tap. That's it, tap in the centre. It go just. That's it. Okay. Then obviously access under that bunk as well.
Yeah.
That's where your alarm box is sitting.
Okay.
All right. You had an alarm before?
Yeah,
You have a alarm
yeah,
in your
Sergeant.
Yeah, Sergeant alarm. Yeah. It's obviously a slightly updated version. Yeah.
Same buttons.
Same buttons, yeah. So we've got keys, one and spare, so one does all. Yeah, same one. Did you only like work off the fob on the last one? Not sure if it would do or not. So this one you can actually switch your only light on and off.
No, there was
Yeah.
a switch here.
Yeah. So this one you've got about 4 options if you want to of switching that only light on and off. You've got that one there. You've got the button inside. You've also got a button on the control panel. And if you're operating on an app, you can actually switch it on and off on the app as well. Okay. So set the alarm. It'll be exactly the same as your last one. Just press 1 beep on, 2 beeps off. If you register with the tracker, then that operates the tracker or sets the tracker as well. Okay. Right. Would you like to go inside? We'll show you the fun bits in there. After you.
Posher than the old one.
Sorry.
It's a bit posher than the old
Well,
one.
it should be. You pay for posh on these ones. Right. I'll just turn that down so we listen to the radio before. Right. So what we've got up here, you've got a control panel. That's your main control panel. This is the Swift Command side of it. This is your heating control panel. Okay. So what I'll go through this one first. So power on is that button there. So your master switch, 12 volt systems is that one there. That's just menu. This one is your water pump. That is your master switch, master light switch for the main lights. Master light switch for your dimmable lights, which is the ones above the lockers in the bedroom and in the front here. Then, as I said before, awning light also on there. Obviously, you can tell it's switched on because obviously there's lights and radio and everything else on. If I just wave my hand in front of it, it lights it up. So that will go to sleep after about 30 seconds. You can change the setting on that if you really wanted to. Showing that there is your voltage for your battery.
As you say, so that's...
Yeah, so that
So
powers
it just
everything
turns
off.
everything off.
Yeah,
Puts it back on again.
yeah. And you'll probably hear the radio come blasting on in a minute. He says, right. There we go, it's come back on again. Right, so voltage of your battery in the centre. That little L there in the battery, that's to say you've got laser battery connected. You'll see that every now and again, sometimes you won't see it. That's the solar panel. So
Okay.
that's indicating solar panel. Flash of electric, that's to say you've got electric connected. Obviously clock. Okay, so if you want to scroll through the menu.
So if I haven't plugged in, that
Yeah, you
I haven't
won't
got,
see that,
You haven't
yeah.
got a sign there.
That's it.
Okay.
Alright, so wave in front of it. So there's other things on here. Sergeant, that is the system. System settings, you can change the clock. You can set every time I press the button you can switch the beep off if you wanted to. And you can also pair up your phone. Have you got the app on your phone?
Yeah.
You have?
I don't think I've set it up yet. But
Yeah, but if you've got the app on your phone, and I'll do that in a second. I just want, yeah, you've got it there, I can see that. Alright, so I'll show you that in a second. Just show you other things. Heating settings. So this system will control your heating as well. So you can control that on the app, or you can control it on heating the timer on this as well. Even though that's got its own timer, you can set it on the timer on here. Dimmer level. So the lights which are going across the top of the lockers, which are just switched off. So I just press that. So you've got individual light switches for them. This is the master switch to turn them on or off. Okay, you can see there you've got dimmer level across the bottom. So to change it manually, the level of it is set at 50 at the moment. If I press the arrow which is pointing towards the screen, see now it's increasing. So you can go all the way up to 100%. See it's quite bright now. If I press it again now, 5%. So you can just set it where you want via that. Or you can do it, as I said, on the app. Press again, internal temperature. You'll see the temperature slightly different from that control panel to that control panel because the sensors are in slightly different places. AC limit. So on site, you've got a bollard that you connect your electric to. If you overdraw it by switching too much stuff on in your caravan, it will trip it. Okay, I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you do overdraw it, it will trip it. Okay, what this will allow you to do is give you a bit of a bit of leeway, as in, at the moment it's off. In the centre there, that's how much ampage we're using at the moment. If I press the arrow again, pointing towards the screen, I've now set it to 5 amp. So that's the lowest I can set it. So on the continent, perhaps, you might have a 5 amp bollard, or you can set it all the way up to 16 amp, which is tend to be, this country tends to be a 16 amp. What that will do, if you overdraw that, so say that went over 16 amp, so say something like you've got a lot of electric on, and then you go and switch a kettle on, if you've got an electric kettle, and goes above that level, what it will do is start shutting down the heating system on the electric side of it. So say you've got 3 kilowatts on your electric, it will shut down 3, 2, 1 until that kettle clicks back off again, and it'll allow the power to come back on again. Okay, yeah, so it's
Clever.
you lose it for that period of time, or hair dry. You know, anything that's like high energy is obviously going to bump it above that level. It's probably more likely to be in the winter time when there's obviously a lot more. Usually use a lot more energy in the winter, don't you, compared to the summer? Okay, and that's. Oh, I've got all the way right. I'll just switch that back off again. That's it. Select battery. So if you had the car on the site, still connected to your caravan, you could actually select the battery from that if you wanted to. Probably not a good idea if you go and flat the battery. Solar to vehicle, so you've got a solar panel, not showing it how much voltage roughly is coming in at the moment. No vehicle battery is attached, so you would see a voltage of that as well. So you're back round to the leisure charging. Okay.
Okay.
Happy with that bit?
Yeah.
I'll say it's one of the things that you can make as complicated as you want or as simple as you want.
I'm
You
gonna
just
be
either
sitting
power
reading-
on and
I'm going to be sitting reading that book for ages.
yeah, you've got a nice book there that keep you going for a bit.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So I'll just go onto the heating panel now, and then we'll come back to that with the app. Okay. So this at the moment is set up so we can control the heating via this panel. If I change it on that one, if you remember the heating settings, I'll just turn this up. Just all I can use that in the ear. Right. So to switch your heating system on, which is a boiler that heats the room and the hot water all in one, you switch it on there. Green light inside, it says it's okay, it's running okay. What's showing on the main screen at the moment, that plug there is just denote that we've got electric connected. It's not necessarily operating on electric, it's just there available. Okay? If that's not there, obviously you haven't got electric available, you're not going to be working on electric. Temperature is your room temperature. If I just increase the temperature now, so at the moment it's set to 1.5. Normally you'll go as low as 5. So this is setting the thermostat now. So I just want to bring it all the way up to show you an icon on the main screen. So you can go as maximum as 30. You probably won't want it that warm, but see this icon now here? That's to say your heating is now circulating around your van. Obviously it's not there, your heating's not being circulated around your van. So if you don't want the heating on, just bring the temperature below the room temperature. So say
So it's just a thermostat.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So if the temperature's you've set below the room temperature, that heating
It's not gonna
is
work.
off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same-
Okay.
Same as the term, yeah.
Yeah. So next one, that's water heating off. If I press the plus button, it goes green, half a triangle coloured in. Don't ask me why it's a triangle and why it's half coloured in, but that's what it shows. Excuse me. So that's your normal running for your water heating. Okay. So that'll give you plenty of hot water. If you want to, you can boost it. So if I press the plus button again, full triangle coloured in now, that will boost the temperature in the hot water tank. Okay, so it'll give you extra hot water for a period of 30 minutes. Then what it'll do, it'll revert back to normal running. So as I said, it's concentrating all the heating now in the boiler. What it will do, if you've got the heating running, it will shut the heating pump down for that period of time, because obviously you don't want the heat being drawn away from the boiler. Okay, you can just switch it back normally if you want to. Okay, is that camera getting a bit heavy now? Oh, your bag is now. The camera does tend to get a bit heavy after a while as well. Okay, the next one along is your energy. So that's all energy off now. If I press this one's electric, so you've got options of 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. Okay, and you've also got option of gas, so that's gas and electric on now. Okay, you can use on both or one or the other if you want to. If you imagine, if say you were just operating on 2 kilowatts, that may be efficient enough for summertime for just heating your water up. It might give you a little bit of heat in the room if it gets a bit cooler at night, which it normally does in the summer, doesn't it? If you imagine that in the winter, 2 kilowatts is going to struggle to give you the temperature you want. So if you imagine that 2 kilowatts is your electric kettle at home, it's just trying to heat up 2 or 3 litres of water, it's not trying to heat the whole room up. So if you imagine that's trying to do that in here, obviously it's going to struggle in the winter. So you may want to do an option of both, so electric and gas. What that will do is from cold, obviously it'll warm up quicker, plus it will use both energies from cold, gets up to temperature, then it'll turn the gas off. And it'll tick over on electric quite nicely then. Unless someone like myself leaves the door wide open, temperature drops, gas kicks back in, and brings it back up to temperature.
Very clever, isn't
Yeah, oh, very clever these are, yeah. Okay, so that's your basics on your heating system, which is not too bad.
No, it's
I
not
think.
too bad,
Yeah,
no.
it's not too bad. What I've got on this one, this button here, at the moment that's showing what activated functions or what functions have been activated. This one here is switched on, so that can communicate with that. Okay, if that's not switched on, which obviously it is,